towards the edge. So what we did is we actually built the testing course on the East Loop to have near maximum capacity G-load on the car. G-load is lateral G's. It's a engineering term, but it's essentially the force that's exerted on the outside or the inside of those tires. And so BMW, again, does it better than anybody else at near race car quality and nearing 1 G of lateral force, which means almost the entire weight of that car is over on that left or right side. And what we've done is we actually put together a couple of things. So we've got some chicanes coming off the start to pick up speed. Charlie will actually be over there sending me out, but we'll go through a high-speed chicane. If you get started and listen to us early, and that's the key, is we're not, we just have some experience with what's going on here. We're gonna encourage you, different than almost any other school that you go to, we're gonna encourage you to go faster. We're not gonna be out there telling you to go slower. We're not gonna tell you, we'll watch for that, and at some point if that comes in, that'll have to be a conversation that's had. We don't want anybody to be reckless. Reckless is not fast, and reckless is not fun. Reckless is slow, and you're going to be confused, and you're going to confuse everybody else, and it's just not going to be a good time. But if you listen to what instruction we have, we're going to get you to push those cars to nearly the G load, acceleration load, and deceleration load, all in this test course. So when you come off of there, you're going to get the high-speed slalom. The goal is to keep the car under you, which is stable. We're not going to get too technical, we're not going to waste time. But essentially, a car being underneath you in a racing situation is you have complete control of that car. Again, smooth is fast, and you want to be good under control. So through those chicanes, driving smooth, but driving fast is what you want to do. You're going to then go in with a big sweeping right-hand corner. The advantage of that corner is that in an M4, 5, or 6, you're going to get to experience, like I said, nearly 1 G of lateral load, which means you can drive that car in. If you take the line we're going to recommend to you, you can actually set that car over on the left side and start to put power into that car. And it's essentially a throttle steer situation where you're going to feel the acceleration pickup fully loaded on the left-hand side. And again, that's something on a racetrack. If we were doing that on the West Course, you'd have to be doing some of those sweepers probably 120, 30 miles an hour. The situation there is if it brakes loose at 130, it's a big ride. Nobody wants that. Here we can do it at 60 miles an hour. The cars are going to be perfectly equipped for it, and we'll get you to a place where you're comfortable. It's going to be spectacular. But we do have a double exclamation point. That's, and any of you guys that are familiar with rally racing and things like that, you get books, guys run these courses blind. Double exclamation point means there is potential to go off. So again, getting into that corner is very important, because if you get into there smooth and you're not all crossed up with the wheel, which means you're kind of sideways, you're going to get to put that pedal into, you're going to be able to accelerate through that corner and feel that G-load. If you get in there crooked, you're just going to be fighting the car all the way through. So get in there smooth, get on the gas, feel that acceleration. You're going to have to look out for the chicane coming on the outside. So again, we'll show you the line. We'll talk through all of this when we go out on course. But you want to get smooth through that second chicane. You can do it at a pretty quick speed. And then you get a chance where, again, this is something that you almost never get to do. We're going to encourage you, when you get through that chicane, to put 100% power in the ground. 100%. M4, 5, 6. M4 is 425 horsepower. The 5s and 6s are in the 580, 85 range. A lot of people have never experienced what 585 horsepower feels fully to the ground. Here's where it gets even better. You're going to get up to about 70 miles an hour at 100 feet. And then you're going to get to use those massive M-Series brakes, because we're going to come to a complete stop. So you're going to go from coming out of that corner full power on to a 100% braking situation. So use those brakes. Matter of fact, if you have a passenger with you, the best thing we ever see is when that guy just goes forward when you hit the brakes. And when you got the capability in these cars. The one safety thing, and I don't want to beat up the safety thing, but it's important because we're all standing out there and it's your lives, and truly your lives are at risk when you're out there on a racetrack. We take it very seriously what we do. One thing is essential when you get through that, and when Charlie shows where it is a full stop situation. So it's not a roll through, it's not keep going. That allows us to see that you guys have stopped, got through that section of the course. Just count to 1, 2 to full stop so we know you're stopped. We're going to have someone else at the top of the hill. I think it'll be Chris Everton. So we need to roll around slow, about 5 miles an hour to the next start point. Again, we'll go through all this on the tracks. We don't know what we're doing now. But then you get to experience another spectacular corner. If you went through this smoothly, you're going to get to go through a really big sweeping right-hand corner. Where that corner is exciting is something called off-camber. Off-camber means that as that corner crests, it actually rolls away from you. So in a car, essentially that's loading that left side even more. So you're going to actually start to roll out a little bit to the outside. So you're going to have to play with that. And it's a triple exclamation point because there is an exit there. There's a track off potential. And if you get your wheel off in the dirt or you're driving a little too hard, you will take that car for a ride. And honestly, and I don't, this isn't really our thing, but if you do go for a ride, you go off course, you're reckless, that's kind of it for the day. We hate being those guys, but again, it's for the safety of everybody in the room. And there's go through another chicane, another high-speed section, very fast right-hander, and again, go full stop. So again, we sort of custom crafted this thing on the fly. We've had 2 spectacular days out there, and we convinced the BMW folks to let us do it instead of running through a little parking lot thing, and it's been going very, very well, and we encourage you guys to have fun out there today. And again, just listen to Charlie and those guys, have a good time out there.
Yeah, actually I could add one thing. There's a few places where there's 2 yellow cones, and 2 yellow cones means full stop and then 10 miles an hour.